Hello, everyone. We're very happy to see a lot of you here signed up for our webinar today. Thank you for joining us. We're glad to represent UNIDO, and we're ready to tell you more about our new paid internship program. This is really a great opportunity to gain real-world experience in international development while contributing to the work of UNIDO. All right, so during this session, your microphone and cameras are off to ensure that we have a smooth delivery. So you will only see the cameras of the presenters. Please feel free to drop your questions in the Q&A button here. And then if we have icebreaker questions, please put your responses in the chat. The presentation will last about 45 to 60 minutes plus 15 minutes for your question and answers. And at the end, we'd really love your feedback through a quick survey to help us improve for future sessions. All right, so before we dive deeper, I'd like to introduce myself and also my colleagues here. My name is Jacqueline Malapitan. I am a Human Resource Officer at UNIDO. I am from the Philippines, and I'll be leading today's session. Passing it now to Valeria to introduce herself, please.
My name is Valeria Kiparisova. I'm from Russia. I work at UNIDO as a team assistant, and I started my journey myself as an intern in 2022. So I'm really happy to see all of you in this webinar. Ginia?
Thank you.
Hi everyone, I'm Jinya Chu. I was also a former intern at UNIDO for 1 year, and I start my journey as a HR consultant and assistant from the beginning of this year. So I'm also new, and welcome everybody to join our sessions.
Yuting?
Hello everyone, my name is Yuting Liu. I'm from China and I'm HR intern with UNIDO. I've joined the team around 1.5 months and I'm very glad to join this webinar today.
All right, great. Okay, together we'll walk you through UNIDO's new paid internship program. And here's our learning agenda. We'll go through key details, learning about funding types, who is eligible, how long internships last, what are the benefits offered, and we'll also explain the application process step by step. After that, we have two of our former interns here who are now associates at UNIDO who will share with you a bit about their internship experience. And finally, we'll have the Q&A portion at the end. Great. So as an icebreaker, you've all heard about the Sustainable Development Goals or the SDGs. What do you think? Which SDG is UNIDO's main focus? So can you please type your answer in the chat? So which of these 17 Sustainable Development Goals is UNIDO's main focus? Okay, 9, 11, 9, 9. Great. So the correct answer is SDG 9. It is Industry, Innovation, and Infrastructure Goal, which aims to build resilient infrastructure, promote inclusive and sustainable industrialization, and to foster innovation. So although our main focus is SDG 9, through our projects, we make an impact and contribute to the other Sustainable Development Goals. For example, we have Sustainable Development Goal 3, improving health and well-being with our project in Bangladesh, in implementing an arsenic removal project in areas with high levels of arsenic contamination. This way, we ensure access to safe drinking water. We also contribute to SDGs 4 and 5, which are quality education and gender equality, with our 5 projects in Somalia, where we enhance vocational and commercial skills, particularly targeting the youth and women to support stability and economic recovery in the country. So more about UNIDO and its mandate, I pass the floor to Valeria now. Go ahead, Valeria.
Thank you, Jack. Now we will focus on UNIDO's mandate and explore how our work fits within the broader UN system, as well as where we operate around the world. So UNIDO's mandate is closely aligned with the Sustainable Development Goals Particularly Sustainable Development Goal 9, which I just mentioned, focuses on industry, innovation, and infrastructure. And this slide illustrates how UNIDO's mandate translates into real-world impact. On the left, you see the direct effects. These include technical cooperation, policy advice, and capacity building. These are the core activities we deliver through our projects and partnerships. In the middle, the indirect effects show how our work contributes to broader development goals, such as economic growth, environmental sustainability, and social inclusion. And on the right, you see indirect effects in action. These are the examples of how our interventions lead to long-term transformation in communities and industries as well. And whether it's supporting green technologies or empowering women in manufacturing, our vision is to make industrial development a driver of sustainable change. So next, please. Yeah, our work is aligned with global development priorities, and it currently focuses on three strategic areas. Of course, it's ending hunger through innovation and local value addition. We also promote clean energy, climate action, and green growth, and support fair and sustainable supply chains. These priorities guide our projects and partnerships around the world. And of course, we are not alone in our efforts. UNIDO is a part of the broader UN system, and as you can see, it belongs to a group of specialized agencies. What does it mean for UNIDO to be specialized agency? It means that UNIDO operates quite independently within the UN system and has its own governing bodies, budget, and mandate. But at the same time, of course, we collaborate a lot with other UN agencies, governments, and development partners to deliver integrated solutions. And this interconnected approach allows us to leverage global expertise and resources to support our member states more effectively. We have 173 member states, reflecting broad international support for our mandate. Our headquarters are in Vienna, and we also maintain liaison offices in Brussels, Geneva, and New York to engage with our partners and stakeholders. In the field, we operate through a network of 49 regional hubs and country offices covering 158 countries. Our presence there allows us to implement projects on the ground, respond to local needs quickly, and of course, build long-term partnerships. So whether it's supporting small and medium-sized enterprises in Africa, promoting circular economy models in Asia, or advancing clean energy in Latin America, UNIDO is active where it matters the most. And of course, we believe in empowering young talents, young professionals to contribute to our mission. My colleague Ginia will walk you through the internship program, the new one, paid one that is focused on students and recent graduates, and we'll let you know more about how to gain this experience. Over to you, Ginia.
Thank you, Valeria. So now that you have already learned about UNIDO and its global missions, let's take a closer look at our internship program. I believe this is the most exciting part, and it will contain a lot of useful information. What makes this program unique is the opportunities to work on our real UNIDO project. Interns will become part of a multicultural team, gain valuable professional experience, build network with experts across the organization, and apply your academic knowledge in a practical setting. Whether you're based in HQ in Vienna or in one of our field duty stations, we'll be contributing directly to projects that have impact. There are two types of internship funding. Some are financially supported by UNIDO, while others are arranged through external sponsorship, such as university or government. The important thing to remember is that regardless of how an internship is funded, the learning experience and opportunities provided are exactly the same. In terms of who can apply, we welcome candidates who are finishing their bachelor's degrees or those who have recently graduated within the past 12 months. We also accept applicants who are master students or higher at any stage of their studies or have completed their master degrees or higher within the last year. Since we are an UN agency, you need to be fluent in the working language of the office you're applying to, and you must be the national of UNIDO member state. The only restriction is that if you have closer relatives working at UNIDO, you will not be eligible. Your internship will usually last between 3 to 6 months, and if you're in a fully sponsored position, it can be up to 12 months. Depending on your assignment and the needs of your team, you may work either on site or remotely. UNIDO also offers a flexible working arrangement, which means that you can work from home up to 3 days a week. We want to make sure our interns maintain a healthy work-life balance with no expectations on overtime. Here's an overview of some of the benefits and support we provide. If your internship is funded by UNIDO, you will receive a monthly stipend. The amount will be different depending on the duty station, but it can go up to $1,500 and it's tax-free. Annual leaves, 6 leaves are granted, so your well-being is taken care of. Health insurance is not part of our package, but UNIDO does provide security coverage for added protections. You will need to handle your own travel and visa arrangement, but we will provide guidance and support as much as we can. At the end of the internship, you will receive not only valuable experience and networks, but also a certificate recognize your contributions. I will stop here and pass the floor to my colleagues, Yuting.
Okay, thank you, Jingya. Now let's move to the next part. As you can see, UNIDO welcomes interns from a wide range of academic and professional backgrounds. Whether you are studying economics, law, communications, or environmental science, there's a place for you to contribute meaningfully. Okay, and you can apply for a specific internship announcement through our online recruitment platform, careers.unido.org. Once applications are reviewed and shortlisted, suitable candidates will be contacted and invited to an assessment. That could be a written assessment, an interview, or both. And in certain cases, the hiring division might also do a desk review. If the interview goes well, the candidates will be notified of their selection by the recruiting team. After all the logistical details like the start and end days, the office, and arrival at the duty station are finalized, the candidates will receive an official offer from the UNIDO internship coordinator. So please check our website regularly, and new vacancies are coming up. Now let's move to the next slide. Okay, so if you're applying through a sponsoring institution, the process may start with a nomination from the sponsoring institution or internal shortlisting. UNIDO then reviews the candidates and may conduct interviews or assessments. Once selected, you'll get the official offer and start your onboarding. Sponsored internships are a great way to gain experience with additional support from your university or organization. So if your academic institution sponsor interns, please tell them to get in touch with us so that we can share our memorandum of understanding and walk them through the sponsorship process. Now let's get back to my colleague Jack.
All right. So thank you, colleagues. We have about 460 participants now, and we'd like to share some tips if you're interested in applying for an internship. So here are some tips for a strong internship application at UNIDO. First, we started with sharing with you our mission because it's really important to familiarize yourself with UNIDO's work in inclusive and sustainable industrial development. So check out information about our projects, see if this type of work excites you. tailor your application to show how your background, your interests, and studies align with UNIDO's goals, especially in areas like green industry, SMEs, technology, or skills development. Second, highlight relevant academic background. So UNIDO looks for candidates in fields such as economics, engineering, environmental sciences, international relations, and development studies. So clearly state your academic focus and how it connects to UNIDO's work. Third is to showcase international mindset and diversity awareness. So here we have staff from all over the world. You have to demonstrate cultural sensitivity, language skills is a plus, and any international experience. So also mention if you're from from a member state of UNIDO, because this is a priority in selection. Number 4 is to emphasize your soft skills. So we value interns who are adaptable, collaborative, and proactive. Use examples to show your communication skills, teamwork, and ability to work in diverse environments. Fifth would be to show knowledge of the latest tools. So innovation is very important to our work. Knowledge of the latest tools brings an added value. If you know AI, if you know Canva, like our intern here, Yuting, who is working a lot on a lot of our graphics and materials, if you know data analytics, it's really a plus. And then 6 would be clear and concise. Keep your CV, your cover letter focused and well structured. Avoid jargon. Use clear language to explain your achievements and your motivation. 7 would be to tailor your motivation letter. So explain why you want to intern at UNIDO. So specifically UNIDO and not just any UN agency. Mention what you hope to learn and how you plan to contribute. Number 8 would be to follow the application instructions carefully. So submit all the required documents in the correct format, double check deadlines and eligibility criteria. And lastly, leverage university support and also watch past UNIDO webinars and videos. So if your career office, if your government, if your professors have any feedback on your application, you can also ask them to check if your application looks strong for the position you're applying to, if your career office has a program where they sponsor interns to students to intern in UN agencies, please get in touch with them and ask them to get in touch with us as well. All right. Now we would like to hear from current colleagues who started their journey at UNIDO as interns and are now working as associates. So their stories will give you a real sense of what it's like to intern here and how that experience can lead to long-term career opportunities. All right. We'll start with Mr. Tegawende Oedraogo. Over to you, Tegawende.
Yes, thank you very much. So, hi everyone. I'm Tegawende Oedraogo from Burkina Faso, and I'm a former research and policy analyst. Intern at UNIDO Policy Advice Unit. So I currently work as a project associate within the Bureau for Africa. So the reason why I actually apply for the internship is the fact that I felt like my personal interest is perfectly aligned with UNIDO's mission of inclusive and sustainable development. And also, maybe I forgot to mention that, but I have a background in economics. So I did my master's in development economics in France and my undergraduate in economics, but in China. And then as a former intern, I used to work on industrial policy strain in fragile states. And following that, I also used to provide support on digital readiness assessment for 54 countries in Africa, and mainly also I brought support on a working paper that aimed to assess gender inequality in digital manufacturing. So what is a typical day as an intern at UNIDO? So I would say that most of the time I will start my mornings with a quick chat with my supervisor, to set up the day priorities. And then following that, I will do a bit of reviewing and data analysis, and also drafting internal report and briefing notes. And then in the afternoon, I will maybe be included into some of the team's meeting and cross-unit consultation, about the ongoing project. So as you can see, it's a mix of independent research and interactive teamwork, which reveal, how UNIDO converts evidence into policy advice in the development sector. So definitely, I would say that some of the things that uh, make UNIDO stand different and special to me is the fact that you have the good opportunity, to meet and connect with people from diverse culture, but also, people working in different UN agency. Because for those who have been, for example, in Geneva, you have, like different agencies with their own headquarters. But then in Vienna, we got, I think, up to 4 or 5 UN agencies within the same compound. So this gave you, like the opportunity to meet, but also to learn from colleagues from UNID, but also from other agencies. So talking about my greatest achievement, I would say I actually have in mind 3 of them. So the first one is the fact that one of my contribution was published within one of the UNIDO's working paper. So I was part of a big project which aimed to assess digital readiness in Latin America and in Africa, and I brought, I would say, huge support within the regional, within the Africa regional part. So, and then following that, the second one will be definitely, the fact that I had a good opportunity, to meet and interact with UNIDO DG, and also the deputy to the director general. And I do believe that those moments were so inspiring to me, because it also helped me, to set my goals, and especially, to definitely clearly define where do I see myself, for example, 5, 10 years and 25 years from now. So I would say that as a former intern, I strongly encourage you to apply, for this opportunity, because when I was doing my internship, this was unpaid. So this is a lifetime, opportunity for you guys to be involved, and to see definitely how you can be part of this great global mission. So, and maybe, one last thing, that I would also mention about different reason why UNIDO stand different is the fact that as a UNIDO intern, you encouraged to connect with colleagues from other agency, but also, you also have the opportunity to attend multiple discussion with member states, which greatly, give you the sense of how, like multilateralism, and also how global decisions are negotiated, in practice. So make sure, when you apply, to be very familiar to UNIDO mandate, and make sure that your CV, and your recommendation letter also align, with the mission that you will actually find within the term of references. And also, if you're really looking for a growing space, like a dynamic and multicultural environment, to grow and also to develop most of the skills, don't hesitate to apply. Keep applying, and also, never give up on applying. Yeah, and make sure that you give the best of your application version. So definitely, yeah. And I look forward, to meet some of you guys, here in Vienna at the headquarters. And yeah, I will be available, to answer to some of the questions if you have some. Thank you very much.
Thank you so much, Tagawende. So he's coming from when we had an unpaid internship program.
Yes.
As mentioned, we actually just launched the paid program this September. Now I want to pass the floor to Hamza. Is Hamza online?
Yes, I am.
Okay, I don't see you on the screen. Let me just. Or is it just me?
Everybody.
You see Hamza? Valeria?
I don't see him, but I see him on the slide. So
Okay,
Okay,
Hamza, I don't see your
super.
camera, but go ahead and speak, maybe just to.
Can maybe turn it off and then turn it on again.
Okay, try to turn it on.
It's on. So.
Okay, I don't see you though, but let's
Yeah.
see if it will come.
Me
Oh,
neither.
there.
Okay.
Okay.
Yeah. Now it's
Now
okay.
you're live.
Here you are.
Over to you.
Okay, super happy. So hello everybody. My name is Hamza. I'm from Morocco. And today I will try to share a little bit about my internship experience at the Regional Arab Bureau here at UNIDO in Vienna. And I will keep it short and simple. I will focus on 4 points. First of all, how the internship matched my studies, what a typical day looked like, my greatest accomplishment, and some advices that for you who are thinking of applying. So actually, my academic background is in law, and I have 2 master degrees, one in global studies and international development, and second one in international relations. So these, I would say, these programs gave me a foundation for international affairs, development challenges, and I always wanted to see how these ideas work in practice. So that interest really grew while attending public forums, events, lectures, and receptions. And for example, while attending the International Vienna Energy and Climate Forum in 2023, I had the chance to meet for the first time some colleagues, many of my future colleagues here at work, and also my future manager. So when I joined UNIDO, the internship became so the perfect bridge, let's say, between theory and practice. And I could finally connect my studies to the daily work of an international organization and see how, for example, projects are designed, coordinated, and implemented across the Arab region. Actually, of course, no 2 days were even exactly the same, but a typical day for an intern, I would say, would start at around 9 o'clock in the morning. The first thing that you would do is to check your emails and see if you have some new tasks or some updates. After that, you usually have a quick chat with your manager to clarify the priorities of the day. Much of the work involved collaboration. So I would often reach out to colleagues either to offer support or ask, of course, for clarification. So that way I got to know not just my own team, but also people from other departments. And it really helped me understand the wider structure also of the organization and how everything's connects. So tasks, of course, could include writing meeting reports, preparing PowerPoint, drafting official letters or reports, or helping with briefing notes for senior managers. On some days, I also attended meetings, both internal and external, which, of course, gives you a real insight, I would say, into how UNIDO engages with its partners. And of course, around lunchtime, I usually go to the cafeteria, sometimes with other interns, with colleagues, sometimes alone. And of course, in the afternoon was usually a mix of finishing tasks, following up on emails, or occasionally attending other meetings. So the routine gave structure, but there were always a variety, let's say. Looking back and trying to answer this question about the greatest accomplishment, I think my biggest achievement is that after 9 months as an intern, I had a job here at this same or department. So for me, that was, I would say, a clear sign that the work I did was valued and that I had been able to grow professionally. But beyond the job itself, I consider the relationships I built here and the skills I developed are equally important. So learning how to draft professional documents, how to communicate in a, let's say, diplomatic environment, and how to work with people from different backgrounds are things that I will carry with me throughout my career. For regarding advices, if you are thinking about applying for an internship here at UNIDO or any other international organization, my main advice would be, first of all, just do it. Just go for it. And it might take several applications, but patience is always needed and it will pay off at the end. So if possible, try to do an internship while you are studying, have some practical experience, uh, will uh, will be of a great deal, I would say, because when you graduate, it will facilitate looking for a job. And also, don't just apply online, show your interest in the field. So attend public forums, lectures, events related to international development. So it's these are great opportunities to meet people and learn about current issues and maybe also connect with your future employer in general. So yeah, my internship here at UNIDO gave me a valuable daily experience, led to, of course, a major career step, and taught me lessons that I'd recommend to anyone interested in international work. And thank you very much for listening, and I will be very happy to answer your questions. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Hamza. All right. So to wrap it up, we've seen that interning in UNIDO is more than just a professional experience. It's a chance to be part of something bigger. You'll gain international exposure by working in a UN agency and also apply what you've learned in university to real projects and directly contribute to the sustainable development goals. It's also a great opportunity to understand how the UN system works. As mentioned here, for example, in Vienna, we are one of 5 UN agencies here, and also work to collaborate with people from all over the world. The environment here is inclusive, diverse, and truly global, which is an ideal place to grow both personally and professionally. All right. So, okay, thank you, everyone. Now is your chance to ask questions. Please put your questions in the chat. We're unable to unmute people while we do the questions, and I think my colleague Monica will also help us field the most asked questions. I see some colleagues answering questions as they come. And just as a reminder, we will be asking you to hopefully fill out a survey at the end to help us improve our webinar series. Monica?
Thank you, Jack. So what I have noticed, there were questions on few things coming up more. So on the selection criteria and eligibility, I saw Valeria then posted in the chat again, but there is a question on the age limit. The second question is remote internships, and then a timeline of a selection process. So for now, these 3. Thank you.
Okay. Who wants to take that? Valeria, do you want to go ahead? Age limit.
Yes, of course. Currently, in the new internship program, we don't have age limit, but you have to comply with other requirements for our internship. As was already mentioned, you are eligible to apply if you meet one of the criteria. So either you are enrolled in the final year of your bachelor degree program, or in master or higher degree program, or you graduated recently from a bachelor or master program. So recently means within 12 months. So within that 12 months after your graduation, you can still apply. And of course, as was mentioned, we have also language requirements. So you have to be fluent in the working language of the duty station where you're applying for the position. The next question was about
remote internships.
Remote internships. Remote internships are currently possible within the new internship program, but it should be agreed upon before you coming on board, of course, and it should be approved by your supervisor as well by HR department.
Yes, maybe to add, it's not that common because it will also depend on the internship opportunity. If it's something that's that can be done fully remote. But as somebody who also interned more than 10 years ago, I also interned at UNDP in New York and UN Environment Program in Washington, D.C. I would highly encourage you to do an on-site internship because it is a very good opportunity to meet colleagues, to really be involved in the work. And aside from the daily work, there's a lot of other things going on. There are conferences, there are, like for example, here in Vienna, there is a group of, like an internship networking group. So there's a lot of other opportunities that you will miss if you opt for a remote internship. So I would highly recommend doing more of an in-person internship, because at the same time, we also have a hybrid format here at UNIDO where you can actually work from home 3 times a week, but highly recommended to do an in-person one. I think the learning experience would be elevated if you do an in-person internship. And lastly, timeline. Who wants to take that? Valeria, do you want to give a go at it?
Yes, I can. Currently, the timeline for recruiting interns, of course, it depends on the hiring needs. The posting period that is usually established for our vacancies is 3 weeks, but currently, because there is a demand for interns in our organization, and of course, we are trying to promote our opportunities and give you a chance to apply. So we are posting our recent vacancy announcement for 1 week, so please check our website regularly. In terms of the hiring process, there was a slide with the selection process. So usually when we receive your applications within this 1 week, we then submit the shortlist to our hiring managers, and we need to give them time to review your applications. So it takes also around 1 week, let's say, and then they come up with the selected candidates. So if you are selected for the position, you will hear from us at the latest, probably 3 weeks after you applied for the position.
And the timeline, if I may add, also differs if you would need a visa to start the internship. We provide visa support if you need to apply for a visa to come to the duty station of the internship, and this is in the form of like a support letter. But expenses with regards to visa application, ticket, etc., is borne by the intern, right? Okay.
Yeah, good that you added it.
Yes.
Yeah. The visa
Monica,
application process can take up to 6 weeks.
yes,
So
depending.
That's why probably
it depends
your
on the
start date will be
Yeah.
delayed a bit. Yeah.
Monica, do you have other colleagues who are raising their hands? If you can please put your questions in the chat. We would like to focus on questions that are of general interest to the group, so that we can tackle more that will be applicable to most of the participants. Monica, any other questions that are highly asked?
Maybe just to give some information, any upcoming future openings. I think there are also a lot of interest when there'll be some opportunities, any specific areas, if we have this information at this point. Thank you.
All right. So currently we have several posted, but please watch our website because we have a lot more coming. I think for this batch, because we really just launched the paid internship program, there will be at least 50 internship positions available. It's a mix of positions in headquarters and also in our field duty stations. So that would be very interesting, especially if you're living in one of those field duty stations. All right, and anything else?
Can I just, Jack, jump in to address? I
Yes, go
also
ahead.
see there are now a lot of questions coming on the application process and CV. So this webinar today would be to cover the information on internships. We do have our YouTube webinar outreach program channel where we have a previous webinar and recording on how to fill out an application form and CV. So there are a lot of useful informations over there on these topics and also cover letter. I see that these are now coming out in the chat. Yeah, thank you.
Thanks, Monica. Okay, I see some questions on working language of the duty station. So it depends on the duty. So the UN has several official languages, but in terms of working languages, for example, Vienna, our working language is English. But if you apply for Francophone speaking duty station, then the official language is French. And then also if you go, but it doesn't mean that it's the official language of the country. For example, if you apply to an internship in Bangkok, you don't have to speak Thai. Their official working office language is English. So just to clarify that a bit, as I saw a question about language. What else? Can I apply to more than one position? Of course. Definitely, if you think that you are qualified, please do, but highly recommended that you tailor your application to each position. So don't just send generic applications. We are getting a lot of applications per internship vacancy now, over 100 for each. So how do you really stand out is if you really try to align how you match the requirements of the role. Okay. There are a lot of questions. How do let's just see. Okay, let's see the most asked questions. Brussels working language is English. Monica, can you help a bit? Because the chat is really
Yes,
going.
yes, I know. We have the chat, maybe just to streamline. So we have also, we're receiving questions in the Q&A, but also in chat. So maybe just to streamline for also presenters to see directly in the chat. I'm trying to also address these in the Q&A. So again, on the application cover letter and work experience, please refer to our previous resources and webinars. And there's a lot of information that we have provided there. There was a question on the part-time internship as well. If perhaps someone will want to address that, I saw that a couple of times. Thank you.
Who wants to take that? Part-time internships.
So the part-time internships, and maybe there were some questions, of course, once an internship is finalized with the UNIDO, what are the opportunities later for job opportunities, right?
Okay.
Thank you.
For job opportunities, of course, you can apply to job opportunities after finishing your internship, just like our colleagues here, Hamza and Tegawende, and actually Valeria and Jinya, who started as interns with us, and then eventually moving on to consultancy opportunities. And in terms of part-time, we don't have that many part-time. Actually, we don't have part-time internship opportunities. And I also saw a question about time, like what time do
There was also
you
the
have to
question
be
working
about
hours.
working hours?
Working hours. I
So
replied to this question
you
in the
replied.
chat. So normal
Okay.
working hours are from 8:30 to 5:30 p.m. So 8 hours per day. And we have something that is called core hours as well. Then you have to be in the office, and if you're teleworking from home. And yeah, this information will be shared during your onboarding. In case you selected. And there was also one question regarding the duration of your internship. So if it is UNIDO funded internship, the duration again is 3 to 6 months. If it is sponsored internship, so it means that you have sponsor outside of our system, either your institution, any scholarship fund, the internship can be up to 12 months.
Okay, good. I also saw a question about if you're studying for PhD, can you do an internship? Yes, You can even while studying or within 12 months of completing your PhD. And maximum internship, if you did an internship in another UN organization, that's good. You can apply to an internship with UNIDO. But you can't have more than one internship at UNIDO. So if you've done internship with us before, unfortunately, you're not eligible. We would like to give opportunity to as many students as possible. So we have that cap. Yeah.
Maybe also one of the common questions regarding if you are currently a student, will you be able to cope with the internship and your studies at the same time? So as we all here almost, I mean, my colleagues, Ginia, you think currently an intern, I was a former intern myself, Hamza, Tegavende. So we all managed to complete our studies, and at the same time, we were doing internships in UNIDO. It's all possible. It more depends on your motivation and the efforts you would like to put on it. And yeah, try it.
Okay. To ask one question, it came in different formats. And so are there any recommendations, maybe from the current interns also outside of the HR? Are there any recommendations on digital tools, methodologies, or any courses that these participants can do in advance when applying to be better prepared for an internship with UNIDO? I think that's a very interesting question.
Okay, maybe we'll ask Tekawende and Hamza to take this one. Any tools, courses that you think is valuable to make somebody stand out as a good intern?
Probably Yutin can add as well, because
Yes.
she really has a good background in these AI tools.
Okay, let's
Well,
start with
most of
Yuting
the-
and then we go
Okay,
to
most
Hamza
of the
and
cases.
Tekawende.
Yeah. Okay, most of the cases I use Canva and the PowerPoint to design the slides or posters, graphics. Yeah.
Great. Hamza, anything to add?
I would say Canva as well, and I always also rely on the human resources, meaning like asking colleagues, friends what they think, and from their previous experiences or how they managed to get to this particular point, and then just kind of do the same with slight changes, I would say.
Great. Tekawende, any tips?
Yes, I mean, I would also say Canva, and also try to refer to some colleagues, especially about what has been done before, So yeah, Canva and yeah.
Great. And maybe just to add, I mean, Yuting, I work with her a lot, and part of why I like working with her is I think I also learn from the intern. So that's a good way to, bring the youthness, their knowledge of new technology. We are looking at ways to enhance outreach for our internship program, looking at TikToks. I'm not really into those things, but like how do we capture the right audience for this type of program? So we are attracting interns to UNIDO to learn, but as much as possible, we also want to learn new tools from the interns and new technology from our interns. Okay. Let's see, what else do we have here?
I see, sorry, Jack, to interrupt. I see in
Go
the
ahead.
Q&A, so not in the chat, but in the Q&A, a question says to Mr. Tegavende, after your internship, what did it take you to be employed as a full-time professional? Maybe an inspiring story.
Well, I mean, that's a good one. That's a good one. Yeah, I mean, I will say that because as I mentioned during my presentation, when I was doing my internship, I was really part of big project, and me having this sense of contributing, also nurture, like the desire for me to be part and to contribute, and one of the things that I really liked was especially the fact that I was working on Africa. Like especially coming from Western African, this meant a lot to me. So, and yeah, and then so this how like like the desire to be part of this great UNIDO family um, kept growing, and then yeah, I applied to like to some position, and then yeah, so I would say that if you really feel like you're looking for an opportunity to grow professionally, but also an opportunity, like to have the unique sense that you're contributing, this is the right place for you to come.
Thank you, Tegawende. There's also a question about how important is knowledge in data analytics for an intern?
Yes. I mean, if you have a background in economics, I would say quantitative techniques, I would say that's that will play like a key role into your application because, for example, as I mentioned, as an intern working on research and policy analysis, I was also tasked to gather, collect, clean data. So if you have great skills into air or data, well, we don't. Well, when I was doing my internship, we're not doing that much of air or data, but I use that a lot, like for my personal tasks. So definitely, if you have the opportunity to acquire, like a lot of knowledge and skills into data analysis, yeah, don't hesitate because this will help you a lot, to deliver like high quality of work. Yeah. So.
Right. Thank you, Tegawende. This one I'll field to Jinya. So does the internship provide air transport and housing to the country we have to go for the internship?
Okay, so sadly, not now. We're not offering such support, but you can choose either what location will be better suitable for you to cover your own expenses on like the flight tickets and then accommodation, everything. But we will support your visa if you're different, if you're not in the country you're applying for. For example, Vienna, we will support the visa process and will help you as much as we can. But mainly the process of all these mandatory reasons will have to be taken care of by your own. So it's intern's responsibility to know everything in advance as to prepare.
Yes, we provide a stipend to support the cost of living in the duty station. It varies per duty station. For example, in Vienna, it's currently 878 euros per month. The maximum is $1,500 in other duty stations that are more expensive. I think we have it for New York and one more duty station, Geneva, I think. Yeah, but we provide the stipend, but you would have to cover your own air travel or your housing, right? This one for someone who just graduated from a tertiary institution 2 months ago, can I apply for an internship? Jinya, if the
Okay,
person
so
graduated 2 months ago.
if you graduate 2 months ago from either bachelor, master, or PhDs, yes, it's possible to apply. So just go ahead and find if you have interested in any vacancies published on the website, and you just go for it.
Okay. Maybe this one I'll field to Hamza. What are the chances to apply for associate positions after a completion of an internship?
Well, it depends. It always depends. Chances are, I would say, pretty high if you have previous knowledge, or if you already worked in the same department, but it always depends. I would say just apply, and even if you don't get the position, keep applying.
Mhm. And maybe just to add, associate positions requires that you have a finished master's degree, plus at least 1 year of relevant work experience. So if you're interning with us, you're in your final year of bachelor's, maybe not yet, because there's also requirements related to the positions that you might want to apply to. All right. Will there be opportunities for interns to collaborate or network across departments and with professionals in related UN agencies? Who wants to take this? Maybe with an internship network here in Vienna. Valeria?
Yeah, I can take it. So, as I can say also from my personal experience and as a person working in HR and providing actually onboarding for interns, I would say that we provide also the groups where you can connect with other peers, with your peers from other UN agencies. And either I know that they are going on the trips together, they meeting after work as well. So this really nice community, and I heard a lot about that. And I myself, was a part of it at the time when I was an intern. Also to mention regarding if you will be able to to give to get some advices from our professionals, of course. Yes, we have something that is called buddy program. So there are professionals in our organization that are trying and willing to provide the mentoring skills to you, so to support you in the process during your internship. So of course it will be possible to interact with other team members and professionals in your team.
Good. When are internships starting?
Correct.
Yeah, internship starting on the first of the month or the next working day, if it's a holiday, UN holiday, or weekend. So we accept interns on the first of the month.
Okay. Then let me go to the chat again. Let me see.
And yeah, still this question popping up regarding if there will be more vacancy announcements for intern positions on our website. Of course, yes, as was just mentioned, we started to publish some of the vacancy announcements that are coming. Requests are coming from our hiring managers. So we expect, and we currently have in pipeline, more vacancy announcement to be announced. So please check our website.
Good.
In the selection process, how many interview rounds can candidates expect?
Maybe our speakers can tell us how many interviews they
And their
did.
key experience with candidate experience. Yes, thank you.
Tegawente?
Yes, so I will start on that one. So for my internship, I did two. So because the first one was around mid-October, where I had the opportunity to meet my supervisor, and to discuss about my technical skills and also my academic background. So, and also to elaborate much more on some of the work experience that I've done before, back to Burkina Faso in Ouagadougou. And then the second one was much more technical, like we went like furthermore deep inside. So, and yeah, so the second one was, as I mentioned, like more technical in terms of what could be, like my future mission, or also like in terms of professional expectation, or like what kind of project, and also to see how do I fit into the oncoming different projects. So yeah, I did two. So maybe like I will pass the floor to Hamza. Yeah.
Yes, if I may recall, I also had two interviews or meetings online with my current past manager, and it was also with other colleagues from the same division bureau, and we discussed my previous experiences, and also the need of the office back at the time, and so yeah, I would say similar experience as my colleague.
Yuting?
Hi, I only have one interview, but normally, as I mentioned in the slides, we sometimes have the written assessment or interview, or sometimes both. Okay.
Great. Okay, let's move to the other question. So, how often do you recruit interns? Jinya.
We regularly recruit interns, but it will highly depends on hiring office needs. So when the project starting on, probably there will be a lot of vacancy coming up. So it really depends. So I will always suggest the candidates to regularly check our website and to see if there are suitable positions for you.
Great. We have a question about internships in Africa. We have several lined up. I just can't remember the exact countries, but there should be some coming up soon. Also in Latin America and in Asia. I saw one coming from Japan. Yes, we also have internships there in our Japan office, in our China office, in Bangkok. We do hire regularly interns for the Bangkok office, and in Indonesia, I saw some participating from Indonesia. We also usually have some in our Indonesia office. Depending on how big the office is, would also usually depend how many we hire for that office. Several in Egypt should come up soon as well. So please stay posted on our website for those. Okay, anything else? Wait, let me just, oh, sorry. Let me just see what else. Curious if, wait, sorry, the chat is moving so fast.
Yes, there was a question, Jack. I was just looking at the same one. So about the work of interns on a day-to-day basis, if interns can get this opportunity to maybe take initiatives to suggest project ideas or similar. So maybe on the level of, in a way, responsibility or one that has within the internship opportunity. I think we were referring to the same question. Thanks.
Okay. Hamza or Tegawete, maybe you can share a bit on how much, when you were an intern, how much of your ideas are actually taken into consideration for projects, initiatives, etc.?
Well, my work was more or less related to coordination between field offices in the organization itself, so with technical cooperation colleagues. So we didn't, or I didn't work much on projects, but ideas, maybe ideas, simple ideas related to organizational matters, maybe creating some documents or Excel sheets where we could really track down all the work that other colleagues did. So we had kind of a folder with much more organized, well, let's say, to keep track. So it was an idea that I discussed with my manager and she found it really good. So this is a very, very small, I would say, thing, but it helped. So yeah, I don't know about other colleagues while they were doing their internship.
Okay, does academic experience matter? Who wants to take that?
Well, I can bring some insight about that. So yeah, I will say yes because, for example, my work was more or less related to research and policy design and implementation in Africa, and I do remember that I used to work as a research as a research as a research assistant while doing my master's in France, and I do believe that this also contributed a lot during my internship. So to come back on the previous question, so following Amza, I would say that yes, because like for example, I had like a very good relationship with my supervisor, and I was really glad, for example, to see that for one of the UNIDO development dialogue, I was tasked to take the lead on preparing the PowerPoint, and there was no change. So actually, my PowerPoint and the content that I actually deliver serve to inform member state. And also, lastly, I would say that because of the research, I was also asked to come up with a new methodology, for example, to make the the output much more efficient. So definitely, yeah, I would say that you also have the sense, and the feeling that you're also bringing innovation, into the current work. So yeah.
Good. And maybe on an HR perspective, academic background matters because for an internship, it is a learning opportunity for you. So we don't expect you to come with experience. So that's why academic background is important because you're not expected to come in with like 5 years experience. We want to see how what you're learning is aligned with the internship opportunity as well, right? Okay, maybe we'll select one last question, and then we can close. Um,
I found one
okay,
interesting.
go ahead.
If you are, for example, not from Vienna, Austria, and you would like to be an intern in HQ, and of course you can apply. It will be considered as an international internship. So of course we will help you with some, sources regarding where you can find accommodation and all of that. So if you are based in the country where UNIDO has office, and still want to travel to another country to take the internship there, it is possible.
Mhm. Good. All right. So thank you so much, everyone. It's been such a great uh, hour for us with all your interesting questions. Yuting will put the link to the survey in the chat. And please answer the survey. It really helps us improve, see what you're interested in for us to prepare for similar webinars in the future. So thank you again, and we wish you a great day. Okay. So Yuting, you put the
Yes,
feedback
I
form,
sent
right?
the survey link
Okay.
in the chat box.
All right.